Hello everybody, Chris Brimminger with RussellMarineProducts.com. Got a great thing going on today. We've got a special guest here to talk about BassCat boats. As you know, Russell Marine Products, we became a BassCat dealer here not too long ago, and we're fortunate enough today to have Ivan Williams from BassCat here to visit with us today and talk about the new Caracal STS. So stay tuned. So like we said, we got Ivan Williams from BassCat. Ivan, welcome to Russell Marine Products.
Great being here.
Love having you here. Ivan, for you guys that don't know, has been with BassCat for 35 years. He's been with BassCat through the 80s, 90s, 2000s, all the way through today. He's been with BassCat through really the formative years of BassCat and through what we know BassCat to be today. He's literally done about everything with the company as far as dealer support, customer service, at the factory taking care of customer needs, you name it, he's done it. He is the manual when it comes to BassCat boats. So Ivan, again, welcome. We love having you here and we're looking forward to the opportunity to talk to you about BassCat today.
I hope I can live up to everything you just said.
So, 2024, BassCat's come out with the new Caracal STS. It's their third in the lineup for their STS or soft touch series, following the Jaguar and the Puma. This boat, as far as first looks at it, the thing that's going to stand out to you is the width of this boat and how it carries it forward. It's very impressive from the standpoint of when you're on that front deck moving around, really truly how much room is up there. So that's going to be one of the first things when you look at this new boat, what you're going to see. But this boat's been redesigned from the old Caracal all the way throughout. You've got a boat that is nimble, it's responsive, it's quick. I will tell you this, we've had this boat out, we got the opportunity to drive it a little while back. Granted, it's got the 300R on the back of it, but it will flat get after it and it's a fun boat to drive. So again, it's a boat that I think that everybody's gonna really get a kick out of. Some other things to look at when you're looking at this new boat, we're gonna start in the back and move our way forward. Something that I think that if you're familiar with BassCat, you're really going to appreciate, I know I've appreciated it for a long time, is the amount of room that's actually in the back end of this boat when it comes to rigging the boat, putting your batteries in, but it really goes along with the access to the pumps. I'm going to let Ivan talk a little bit about this as well, but BassCat is known for if you have a problem with a pump out on the water in the middle of a tournament, you've got an extra cartridge with you, you can actually get to those pumps. You can take these back latches off and actually get to them. And I think, Ivan, that's just one of the great things about BassCat and how they designed the boat.
It always has been. We originally started that in 1988 and it's carried through to today. I mean, we've gone to 1,000-hour pumps, quick release pumps with mercury butt connectors on them. You just pull the connectors. You can interchange your cartridge or carry one spare cartridge that works for all the pumps.
And if if you're a tournament guy and you're out there fishing, if you've done this for a while, you've experienced a situation where you've had a live well that's gone out. And having that ability to be able to, if you've got a spare cartridge with you, to be able to go in, replace that cartridge right off the bat without having to turn around and remove batteries, get things out of the way, and get yourself back on the water and back going again is a big deal. So, as we move forward, the next thing we're going to come to is the live wells. These live wells, a lot of guys ask us questions about why the crazy design or, why are they triangular shaped and so on and so forth. And there's been a lot of thought and process that's gone into, really every aspect of the boat, but the live well specifically. And Ivan, part of that is, keeping the water cooler, the depth of the live well, the shape, the design. Kind of talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, we've put a lot of thought process into the live well systems. First of all, our live well systems are not one compartment or two compartments individualized. We've got one compartment. We've got a divider between them, so we're sharing the water. You've got twice the water capacity, which the ammonia dissipates so quick, it doesn't kill the fish. We've got 6 different aeration systems to our boat. We've got freshwater aeration, automatic, manual, recirculation, automatic and manual, and the pump out system and a pump in system. On the live wells, we have a triangulated live well. The reason we've done that is we want quick access here to your seat area, but to be able to aerate the live well and have access to all the pumps, the live wells run all the way back into your staging area, back where your fuel tanks are. So the triangulated live wells give you front to back live wells. We have a 28-inch spread from this corner to this corner. We've had up to over 78 pounds of fish in the live wells in some of the tournaments down in South Texas that stayed alive from early morning till late. On our live well systems, on the doors, if you notice, there's no locks at the top of them. All those locks are heaters. If you've ever stepped on one of these locks, you notice it'll burn your foot. So what we have is latches on here, which keeps the lock mechanism out of the box. In rough water, it doesn't beat your fish up. It doesn't radiate the sun's UV rays into the live well and heat the water up during a hot summer day. I mean, we put a lot of thought process in it, and it works very well. It's worked for a long time for us.
And you know, the guys that know BassCats, they know that. They know the live well system, how well it works. You know, one key thing too that Ivan had mentioned to me as well when we talk about the live well system, you know, when you get fish scales or you get crawdad parts, things like that get clogged up in them, there's actually a valve that you can open that you can get to in the back there to be able to flush that out. So, you know, if you get into a situation where those things get clogged up, you can actually clean them out. So again, they've thought of everything with respects to the live wells and how well they work to keep your fish alive for you when you're fishing these tournaments. You know, as we come to the center portion of the boat, or the cockpit area of the boat, a couple things you're going to notice. We've got a little day box, or a little glove box that's here in the center, which is nice to be able to put your wallet or whatever that you want to in it and keep it dry. But under that is you got your cooler. So, which I like it when a cooler is designed to be in the center, because when, you know, typically those of us that, you know, when we're fishing, and especially fishing tournaments, when do we get something to drink or eat? It's when we're idling out of an area or idling to an area. So I love having the ability to get to it and be able to get access to it.
As well as another ice chest up here.
You do have a secondary ice chest as well in here. The other thing that is really nice about the cockpit area of the BassCat is it's roomy. So, you know, I'm not that skinny. And so for those of us guys who are a little bit bigger, the ability to be able to slide in and get it in and out of the BassCat and get behind the console is nice. You're not having to squeeze in behind things, so on and so forth. Plenty of leg room. You got room for your hot foot. You know, you've got room to be able to turn around and get up and get out, like I said. Another neat feature, and Ivan pointed this out to me, Ivan, is the cleats. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we have a pop-up cleat here on the side of the boat. So when you pull into a gas dock, or you want to pull into a dock to load the boat, you don't have to get up and run to the front or run to the back to tie up. You can actually pop the cleat up, grab your rope, tie up to the dock, never get out of your seat. You get ready to load the boat on the trailer, untie, pull your cleat down, store your rope, and pull on the trailer. You don't have to, you know, if you tie up the front or the back, it wants to drift in or drift out on the other end. Here in the center of the boat, you're stable. You're going to stay parallel to the dock when you tie up.
You know, one thing about it, you know, BassCat boats, if you know anything about them, you know, Rick Pierce has been a tournament fisherman for years. And so
Rick and Ron.
And Jan. And so these boats are built and designed by people that fish. They put a lot of thought, a lot of, you know, just things that just make our days a little bit easier and a little more functional for us. So, you know, those are the kind of things that when you look at a BassCat, you're looking at why a BassCat is what it is. And when we talk about that in BassCat boats and how they're built, you know, Ivan, tell us a little bit, you know, as we're sitting in this boat, you know, what makes a BassCat a BassCat? You know, what are some of the things about this boat that make it so special?
Well, in my opinion, what makes it so special, number one is the construction, the performance, the customer service, and the lifetime transferable structural warranty. As long as this boat exists, this warranty will transfer from ownership to ownership to ownership, same as the Quest money. We have a full width fiberglass transom to boat, all fiberglass stringers that are laid up like a truss on a bar joist on a steel structure building, so there's no flex in the hull. We have a solid fiberglass subfloor, and then we have all fiberglass boxes, fiberglass to the cap, and we put it together. It's not held together by screws or rivets around the perimeter. It is literally fiberglass together throughout the main structure of the boat, just like an I-beam would be. So that eliminates your flex, your stress, and the ability to have, it eliminates the stress cracks in the long run.
You know, we had the opportunity to go through the plant, and when you see how BassCats are built, you really start to get it. All the things that Ivan's talking about, you know, the quality and the craftsmanship that goes into building these boats, you really get an understanding of that. If you get the opportunity to go through the plant, take it. Trust me, you will absolutely be impressed by what you see. So thanks, Ivan, appreciate that. As we move forward to the front of the boat, we talked about the width and as it's carried forward. You know, tournament fishermen, if you're fishing team series stuff, you're gonna love it. You got plenty of room up there for both of you to be able to move around, you know, dip net fish, whatever the case may be. You're not stepping on each other. And again, that's one of the things that when you look at this boat, as it carries forward, that width carries forward all the way up to the foot pedal for your trolling motor. So it's extremely impressive. You know, we talk about the lockers in the boat and the room that's in those lockers as well. You're gonna be impressed.
I'd like to mention one other thing. Everybody likes to make a statement about the taller steps in here. But typically, when you look at a bass boat, the deck is designed down level with the floor, okay? So when your boat's sitting in the water with the weight to the back, you're fishing uphill all day long. This deck is actually raised up to where when this boat sits in the water, this deck is parallel to the water surface. So you're standing on a flat surface area. That's why the bigger steps are here. The back of the deck is raised up to where you're fishing parallel and you're more comfortable all day. You're not fishing uphill.
Absolutely. And that lends to when we talk about the depth within these compartments and the room that's in them. You know, so when you're wanting to turn around and if you're anything like me, we carry way more tackle than what we need to, but this boat's got room for it. So as we go through the front of the boat and you look at that and look inside the storage compartments, you're gonna be impressed with how much tackle you can carry, probably too much. As we go to the very front of the boat, the way that the bow has been designed, recessed foot pedal, room for the electronics, things like that. Ivan, tell us a little bit about the bow of the boat and why, you know, BassCat designed them the way they did.
Well, actually, in 1994, we came out with a recessed trolling motor pedal. We first introduced it in Chicago. Several companies have tried to copy, they have copied the trolling motor pedal. We had it patented at first. There was one other company that did call us to get permission to use it, but everybody else has pretty well copied it. I think that's pretty complimentary of a good item up there. When you're standing up there, you're not standing up there like a stork on one foot and all the pressure on one foot and all the stress on your back and hips. You're standing up there flat-footed.
Hey guys, we're back up here on the bow of the boat again. Talk a little bit more about the front of a BassCat and the bow design on, again, why the trolling motor foot pedal is where it's at and what that means from a fishability standpoint. So Ivan, tell us a little bit more about the trolling motor and the foot pedal and the whole design of the bow of the boat.
Well, in 1994, when we came out with this, we moved the trolling motor from this position up to this position. Now with your partner behind you fishing, and you're up here fishing, you've got a lot of room between you. Most of the companies that followed us in trying to put a recessed trolling motor pedal in, they left the console the same. They put the pedal down back here, so you can see how much room we have between us. On our trolling motor, by having the trolling motor forward, you gain about 15 to 18 inches more usable space. So a 20-foot 2-inch boat is going to fish more like a 22-foot-inch boat, or 22-foot boat. You just have a lot more room up here. We have two graphs up here. I don't know if you noticed we had two graphs on the dash. You don't really notice them. We deployed the trolling motor to give you an idea of space up here with two people up here in the front. We have a lot of room between us. For those that are a little intimidated by being so far forward, we have a removable insert here. We could move the trolling motor from this position back to about here. We have two butt seat holes up here, so you could even move your butt seat back. For the taller people, you have longer legs, you might want it up there and your seat back. For big water, you might want to move it back, you know, just to be more comfortable in the boat. Gives you a lot of options in the boat.
It really does, Ivan. And you know, one of the things with it being that far forward, you know, for a lot of us, when we're casting, you know, think about it, a lot of other boat manufacturers, you're casting, how often do you hit the head of the trolling motor? By being further forward like this, it gets that rod tip out in front of the bow of the boat, allows you to turn around and make those casts without necessarily having to always hit the front, the head of the trolling motor. So again, some things that BassCat has, really put some thought into how they design the bow of the boat. It's not just, coming from nowhere. Again, it's coming from guys that fish tournaments, that understand what they're trying to accomplish and what they're wanting to do. And again, some of those things about BassCat that separate it from everybody else. So, coming out of the boat, last but not least, needless to say, trailers. BassCat builds their own trailers. They're custom built for the boat specifically that they're going to be underneath of. 4 or 5 inch channel steel construction, which if you are looking for a trailer that's going to last the lifetime of the boat, it's a BassCat trailer. Custom fenders, to match your boat. They're sharp looking, wheels to go with it. There's several options to choose from to really customize your BassCat boat. So again, just another piece of the puzzle to really make sure that what you're pulling down the road get you to that tournament or get you to that lake for a fun day of fishing on the water. We talked about BassCat trailers. Some of the features and benefits associated with those trailers, one of the first one, when you talk about a breakaway tongue and how BassCat builds that trailer, is what you're seeing here. Ivan, tell us a little bit about this.
Well, we have 4-inch channel up here, but we literally manufacture all this system up here. Most trailers have a pivot point and one pin point over here. If you notice, we have an inner tongue in here, so we swing the tongue closed. This goes in and locks in internally, and you have 2 pins. You have one pin where the frame's pulling directly in line with the frame, and then you have another point over here for the side. If you notice, we have a double roller system up here. Instead of having the winch under the roller, when you winch this down tight, you're literally trying to twist the bow eye out of the boat. So we do a double roller. Now we're pulling perpendicular to the hull, reinforced inside the hull so it doesn't put extra stress on your hull. So you winch this down, put your pins in, and you've got 3 steps to get into the boat. You've got a step up here once you get in the boat. It's a unique system compared to everybody else's. It varies. We've never had a problem with it. It's all built in-house and under the same warranty as the boat.
Okay guys, as we talked about, the BassCat trailers, we talked about the fenders, custom matched to your BassCat boat. Great look, fit, and finish. But a couple of places where, again, we talked about the channel steel construction, the 4-inch channel frame construction. That's brought out actually underneath the fenders. It's brought out underneath the steps. So somebody even my size, when you step on this trailer, you can get into that boat and not worry about it. So either place, I can get in and out of this BassCat and not worry about that fender. Well, again, Ivan, really appreciate you coming out today. Hopefully everybody in this real short, brief visit that we've got going through the Caracal STS kind of gets an idea of what this boat's all about and what BassCat's all about. So again, tremendously appreciate you coming out, and we really treasure it. Thank you so much.
We appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Thank you
very much.
So guys, hopefully we can help you get into a new 2024 Caracal STS. Give us a call here at russellmarineproducts.com. 316-313-4113. We'd love to help you out. Appreciate your time.
Are you tired of your old marine electronics? At R&P, we make trade-in easy. 3 steps. Step 1, shoot us an email, get a quote. Step 2, send us your old unit and get credit. Step 3, get your brand new unit and get it installed on your boat today.